Should a woman give up her career once she becomes a wife? And I want to paint the picture like this. So say you meet a woman, right? And she's in a career already. Is it her duty, or do you feel as though when a man comes into their life as a husband, y'all shaping up to be married, should she give up her career in order to, especially if it doesn't align with the vision of what the husband has, or should she be able to maintain her career as well? And the husband kind of supports both. Like he has his vision, he works it out, and then she already has something going on. So in order to clip her, he don't want to clip her wings, so he wants to be able to allow her to keep doing what she's doing and then support. What do you guys thoughts about that?
So oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Marcus. We ain't heard from you all night.
No, I've been chilling. Humble Dad, he a subject matter expert. I tend to defer to people when they know what they talk about more than me, so I'm letting him get that off. Because I typically agree with what he was saying, how I was raising my kids. But so I view it like this, right? As somebody that sees a vision for my family, want to delegate things in the right direction. It's not about my ego, and it's not about what's specifically best for me. My decision for what's best for me is ultimately what's best for the family. If she in a position where, let's say she a lawyer, say I married a lawyer that was making $300-400K a year, and I'm not in a position to make $300-400K a year, I'm not gonna clip her wings. As long as we can figure out how that works beneficially for our family, I'll support that. I mean, I'd be remiss to say I haven't heard of people saying that they have to make sure they make more than their wife and all those other things. But to be honest, I don't think respect derives from income. I think those things are separate when you truly have respect. So yeah, I wouldn't force her to quit her career unless it made more sense for her to quit the career. And in that case, then yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Trev.
Yeah, I think it's always important to establish these types of ideas before you tie the knot, because as long as you're on the same page, it's not going to be a problem, right? So I could see it, as long as whoever your partner is with, they are helping you, right? So that can be an advantage as well, as long as she is contributing, right? So if she decides that she wants to work along with you, then you know what? I still have my needs and what it is that I want. So your additional income could actually be able to get us maybe a housekeeper, or, that come by once a week, something to kind of help out with the load, right? Forget the babysitting stuff, because children, you're going to have to watch. Somebody has to watch, and it's going to be us. Like, so I'm not really with throwing kids in just anybody's hands, but as far as stuff around the house, different things that you wouldn't have to do that could actually help our situation, right? You might be able to vacation more. It all depends on what your priorities are, right? Because I feel like the man is supposed to set the tone, and the female should follow it, right? If the man prefers for his female to work, then it is what it is. If he can provide a lifestyle where she doesn't have to, then cool. But as long as you establish it beforehand and it works for both of you, then that's good. But you can't not communicate these things. You have to be on the same page with these things. Like this is conversations that I made sure I had. You need to discuss credit. You need to discuss finances. You need to discuss everything, hygiene, all this. Like if you're going to go ahead and say, I'm not going to work no more, that's got to be the part of the plan. You can't pop up on me and be like, you know what? Yeah, I want to work. And I'm not going to do that. If you're a career driven woman and that doesn't work for me, then you can't be my woman. It is what it is. But if that's what you want to do, we'll talk about it, how we can work this out, like how this can work for both of us. And as long as you're a willing participant, you're on my program, we're on the same page, I'm not going to have a problem with it. I never tell women what to do, right? That's just me personally. You don't tell women what to do. What you do is you see if that woman is for you, because the one thing you have to know about women is don't expect things to get better Like, if a woman has a bad attitude, she's not going to change it. If she don't like you like that, she's not going to learn to love you. If she doesn't respect you, she never will. You can't get respect from a woman who doesn't respect you. It doesn't happen like that. You don't grow on her. She's always going to have a disdain for you. So just establish it early. I'll leave it there.
It's I'm just gonna say this real quick. I think the upbringing. I won't say the upbringing. I think it has to be like society. I think society shapes a lot of people's minds because it's like black and white, right? I've talked to women that would say once they get married, it's no longer about me. It's whatever my husband wants. I will ask my husband what it is that he would like for me to do. And I give my life to my marriage, my husband. And then on the other side, you'll hear somebody say, well, you're being controlling. You're keeping me in a box. You're not allowing me to be myself. Do you guys feel that some women purpose may not necessarily be solely on catering to a husband? But do you think that's like that mindset is shaped by society, or do you really think deep down when you look at like what your purpose is in life, that purpose is for them to do X, Y, and Z along with being
That's
a husband?
society taught them that they are. That's society all day long. Go ahead.
If she like those two examples of what you just described, I think is the difference between a woman you should marry and a woman you should not, right? If she'll put herself in a position where no matter what you're saying as the man, she's going against it, then you absolutely probably should let her just be a free agent and be independent and live her best life by herself. Because I always talk about hitting that fork in the road. That fork in the road determine longevity in the marriage, your kids having both parents, the success of everything that y'all have moving forward. As long as you have somebody that's that independent thinking, it's never going to work. It's just not going to work. You're always going to end in divorce. You always going to end in the kids being separated and you fighting for custody or trying to co-parent and do all these things. I'm not for that. So one of the main things I want to always make sure is that my kids have their parents together. Like the only way that we should be separate is through death, right? I don't want to yeah, I see Shad face like, yeah, that's how I feel. I don't want to have my kids have to be shipped from one place to other and feeling like they got to pick a parent and all this old extra crazy stuff. So people who have a mindset, when I was talking about, I try and think about the way people think. That question would be one of those why gamble the questions. And when you get to something and you hear somebody answer something like that, you just got to be like, nah, this not for me. It's not for me. This isn't going to work long term. Maybe you need to find somebody else. Because so an earlier point where we were saying that even if you're that guy, she's gonna she just might not do right. I view that a little differently. I think that guy's dependent on who that woman feels is that guy. Because for the right man, she could be making $500 million a year. If she meet a man making $500 billion a year, she'll change her plans for him, right? So to him, she would be that guy. It's very much dependent on how that person perceives the world. Now, does that negate that you're him to yourself and the general public and everybody else? No, that just means she does not view it that way. Her perception means her reality moves forward in that way. And in those situations where she'll say, my goal is this, and the third, and I'm going to go against what you're trying to say we need to do, that's somebody who perceives that you're not that person for her.